the Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach J.B. Wallace. Brought to you by Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep of Prattville, Trustmark Bank, CBE, and Durbin Auto Parts.
Hello, Lion Nation, and welcome into the Prattville Lions Football Review. I'm Will Barrett, joined as always by our head coach, J.B. Wallace, looking back on a 38-20 homecoming victory over the Jeff Davis Volunteers, coach, and that's a hard-fought 38-20 victory.
It was a hard-fought 38-20. You know, it's not how you draw it up, but, man, we're very excited we got to win, and that's what matters, especially a region game like that. You know, looking at film of that team, and like I mentioned last week, when you're playing against teams like JD and teams that may have struggled a little bit, you look at the things that could happen, you know, and things they do well. And if they did this, they'd be a different team. If they did that. And one of the things that I saw earlier in the week, you know, they had an athlete number 2 that we talked about that was very gifted, very talented, and they put him everywhere.
Yep.
But they were more successful on the film we saw when he played quarterback. But they didn't play him there much. But then, you know, Friday night he decided to live at quarterback, and that posed a problem. But we eventually got it adjusted. We were able to put him in small areas and tackle him, and it made a difference in the game.
He was certainly a slippery one to pull down, Coach. But, you know, the game starts, and we're up 14-zip before you can even get to your seats if you come to the stadium. Two minutes into the game, a little more than 2 minutes, and it's 14-zip Prattville. And it looks like everything's going according to plan, and we're just cruising. And then everything starts to kind of stall out a little bit.
Right, yeah, and I'll tell you this, you know, our goal was to start fast. It's to start fast every week, and we did that, and I was proud of the boys for doing that, you know, making play on special teams on the kickoff from the little trick kick, the little pooch kick by Reed Montgomery. We worked it all week, and he perfected it, and we got down there and we were able to recover the ball, and we had a couple of other opportunities as well, but that really gave us that second possession because we lost the coin toss. So, you know, we had to kick off to them, so I wanted to try to steal a possession so we can kind of get an extra edge to get up 14 points and kind of control the game, and we were able to do that. So, you know, just going through it, and our defense, you know, just trying to figure out and you know, have to do kind of different than what you spent most of your time on all week. We spent most of our time lining up. They had a little different formation that they ran, a little unbalanced kind of deal with an extra lineman, and then they had a tackle spot that was an eligible receiver, so we always had to know where that was. And they did a good job of trying to capture your eyes and make you play undisciplined. And, you know, defensively they adjusted well, and we've, you know, figured it out. Offensively, you know, they were going to load the box and not let us run the ball is what their plan was. And you saw on the long pass to Cam Shanks, you know, they basically went one high and spent the safety away from him, and we were able to get the matchup that we wanted. And Cam Rich threw a great ball. Cam Shanks ran under it and caught it. But, you know, we were just waiting on those opportunities to take those strategic shots. And I think Coach Moncrief did a great job being patient. You know, he didn't try to force anything. He was patient, and he took what they gave us. Mario Parks ran the ball well, another 100-plus yards.
Yes, he did.
You know, that puts him at 730 on the year. Cam Shanks had over 100 yards receiving. You know, Mario carried the ball 13 times, but even Donovan had 10 carries. So, you know, we're balancing out in the backfield because both of them, they bring a different dynamic to the game.
Yes, they do.
You know, we got the ball in KJ Blue's hands a couple times. Calvin Parker touched the ball a few times. So we were able to spread the ball out again and not be predictable on some of the things that we were doing.
I really saw a growth element of this team last Friday. You know, we got up 14-zip, and then the game starts to kind of drag a little bit. Like we start to spurt a little bit, and maybe it's a little intensity let down because we got up so quick, and you're starting to think you can do whatever you want to do. But this Jeff Davis team just kept on fighting, and then you look up, and the lead's been cut to 24-20, and it's like we having trouble finding an answer for number 2. And Milser sitting in the booth, and Milser goes, "Ugh, this game is feeling kind of, what's the word? Smithy." You know, it's like, it's feeling kind of smithy. And next thing you know is like, the guys gathered themselves together and put up 14 unanswered points and put the game away.
Right. Well, that shows growth. And regardless of what's going on, be it a bad play, be it a call that doesn't go our way, our goal is to play the next play. Play the next play. Don't worry about that. We'll fix it. That's why we have coaches, and I got all the confidence in the world in our staff, and we'll fix it on the sideline. But just play the next play. But when you just think about what just happened and it stays on your mind, and it's going to lead to another bad play. So I think our guys showed growth in playing the next play and moving on in that aspect and getting it done. Special teams wise, I don't think we had a bad night. We're very solid on special teams. A couple things we got to work on here and there to be playing our best. We're at the end of the year right now, and I think any good team in the state, you should be playing your best ball right now. So it's all about peaking at the right time and all that kind of stuff, and I think we're right where we need to be.
Absolutely. It was a good night for Prattville football. Big crowd on hand to watch this homecoming 38-20 victory over the Jeff Davis Volunteers. Let's take a look at those highlights.
Yeah, what they like now. Here is Richardson with the ball and dropping back to pass. Looking downfield to the short side, stepping up out of pressure. He's going to try to run for it. He has his first down and more. Richardson 15, 10, Richardson 5. Touchdown, Prattville. Montgomery kicks this one away, and this one's going to take a hop at the 35-yard line. It's on the ground, still on the ground, kicked around. It's loose, and Prattville has recovered it. Prattville recovers it at the 25-yard line. Here's 1st and 10 lines from the 25 of the Vols. Richardson throwing it up into the end zone, and it is caught again. Touchdown, Prattville. Has a snap and drops back to pass. Lines blitz. Throws across the middle. This ball is intercepted in the end zone.
Oh, wow.
Plucked out of the air. And here is a give to Powell. He's hit and he's dropped in the backfield.
Cool hand Luke.
Cool hand Luke again. Richardson drops back to pass. Wants a deep ball. He's got Shanks down there. And this ball is caught at the 15-yard line. And Shanks walks in the end zone. Touchdown, Prattville. Rich drops back to pass. Looking, stepping up out of pressure, and then just throws it quick, and he finds Seegers in the hole. Seegers is moving inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. 27-yard attempt. Wildman snaps, Richardson holds, and Montgomery kicks it, and that is a beautiful kick. It is good.
They will move.
High snap. Harris is going to try to pull it and run with it. And Sam Payne wrestles it down in the backfield, a 1-yard loss. And gets Johnson, and he is stuffed for about a 2-yard loss back at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 we go from the 27. Parks with a carry up the middle with room. Parks across the 35 to the 40s. Dragging tacklers across the 45. Still on his feet. Parks to the 50-yard line. 23 yards on the run by Mario Parks. Now Blue comes in motion. Rich wants to pass, sets up the screen. He's got Parks at the 10, Parks at the 5, and he goes in the end zone. Touchdown, Prattville. Mario Parks.
Right. You have the campus and then nothing else, just the city.
Uh-oh, trouble here. Fumble on the play. Ball is loose, and it goes out of bounds, but it's going to be a big loss for the Vols right there as Simpson, German at the quarterback. He's going to run it himself, but he's going to be wrestled down by Jadarius Fitz back at the 49-yard line.
Big play. Now get up.
And he wants to throw it. Looking downfield and throwing it deep. Thrown into coverage, and it is intercepted by Zay Parrish.
Zay Parrish got him another one.
Another interception. He is an intercepting machine. Leads the lines out there, and the give is to Parks. And Parks breaks through it. He's got room. 30, 35, 40. Mario Parks at the 50. And he steps out of bounds at the 41-yard line. 4th and 10 Vols from the 49-yard line. German wants to pass. Under some pressure. Steps out of trouble. We can't get out of all of it. We got him. Flags are down.
Got to be a hold.
But Whit Rollinson pulls it down to the 45-yard line. Here's Rich. Gives it up to Parks. Parks up the middle. Has 5, has 10. He's loose. He's gone to the house. Parks, 5. Parks in the end zone. Touchdown, Prattville.
$38-20 Lions over the Vols. Coach, now it's time to award the Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Game.
Yeah, this week's Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Game is going to go to a young man that's had 2 strong weeks for us, coming out performing well. In 2 weeks, he's averaging about 13 tackles a game. He's got 26 tackles in 2 games, but he definitely showed up with 12 tackles, 2 or 3, 4 lost Friday night, and continues to get better week in, week out. But it's going to go to Luke Gordon for this week's Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Game.
There you have it. Luke Gordon, and that kid's come on really strong. He's had two strong games, and I mean, out of nowhere, here comes Luke Gordon. We all knew that he was a good ball player, but he's stepping up into a key role.
Oh, absolutely, man. He's one that we're leaning on, and he's earned the opportunity and earned the right to start, and he's taking it and running with it. So I'm very proud of his productivity so far and how he's growing, and I think he's still got plenty in the tank. There's a couple things to improve on to get even better. So, but he deserves the Player of the Game.
No doubt. Luke Gordon, the pride of Fireside, your Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Game. Well, Coach, it's time for our favorite segment of the show, Inside the Lions Cage, and this time we're going in with a kind of a newcomer to the program, but he's been with us for over a year now, Gabe Adams.
Yeah, Gabe's inside the Lions Cage today. Gabe, great guy, very, very intelligent, but on the field he does have a mean streak, and he's kind of got a funny personality, so I'm interested to see how this is going to go.
Well, he had some really, really funny answers. You're going to love it. Let's go inside the Lions Cage with Gabe Adams.
Gabriel Adams, O-line, class of 2023.
If you were stranded on a desert island alone and all your food, water, and shelter needs were taken care of, what would you do to pass the time?
Probably bring a deck of playing cards and play solitaire or go fishing myself.
Who has been your favorite teacher to this point, K through 12, and why?
Miss Forrester. 11th grade, she teaches here. English, fantastic teacher. Helped me so much.
Awesome. Okay, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
Don't focus on the past. Focus on the now and the future. Don't let the past catch up to yourself.
Good answer. What's the best gift you've ever been given?
Best gift? Oh, wow. Cam Newton jersey, signed when he was hot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and when I was in North Carolina, I love that thing. I still have it hanging up in my room.
I might buy it from you one day.
You are not going to buy it from me. I'm not going to sell that thing.
What animal do you think you're most like, and why do you feel that way?
Animal? Say a hippo. Strong, surprising speed. I'm a 4 big guy, and just a nasty creature, you know what I mean?
It's thorough. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's one of the best answers we've gotten to that particular question. Okay. A benefactor has given you $500,000, and you have to use it to start a business. What kind of business are you going to launch?
What kind of business? Kind of common, but I want a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to make homemade pasta. It's pretty good.
You make homemade pasta?
Homemade pasta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming to Gabe's house. Okay, congratulations. You've been elected President of the United States. What's your first order of business?
First order of business. Wow, let's just go with first order of business. Free ice cream for children on Saturdays.
Free ice cream for kids on Saturdays.
On Saturdays, every Saturday. They can go to an ice cream restaurant and get free ice cream.
I'm voting for you. President Adams.
That's what came to my mind. I love that.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
Okay, now speaking of children, I want you to describe football like you're speaking to a 5-year-old child who's never heard of it.
Describe football. Football is a sport where you give a man a football and you want him to go to the end zone, and you do anything you can to get him in the end zone.
Simple enough.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You done this before?
No, I have not.
Okay. What's the first smell that comes to your mind when you think about Friday night football games?
First smell. It's gonna be weird but tough. Before every game, I like pick some turf and like smell it. It's just something I do.
This got to be tough at home. The turf's not real.
Just like grab a strain and like it's plastic smell it. I don't know. Like I did it at Enterprise too, and like it's
Okay. Good answer. Okay. What's your most unusual or hidden talent?
Most unusual or hidden talent. Probably the pasta making, honestly. Not many people expect the pasta making.
No, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
I try a lot of the pasta making too.
For real. Can you impersonate any member of the coaching staff here?
Probably Coach Moncrief.
Okay.
Whenever he calls a play, he likes to say it like 3 times. Like, we're going to go Oregon lock. Oregon lock. Lock. Like, he just says the tags multiple times over and over again.
You know, most people have chosen Moncrief.
Yeah. He's this generation shook.
I guess so. What's your favorite uniform combo?
Favorite uniform combo? All white.
All white?
Cocaine, yeah.
Okay. School.
English.
Football.
Hitting people.
Tall socks.
Swag.
Family.
Fun.
Dragons.
Big.
Prattville.
Good school.
The team bus.
Comfy.
And D-line.
Weirdos.
Yes. Well done. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hooray for Prattville, hooray for Prattville. Someone in the stands yelling hooray for Prattville. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me who you're rooting for, Prattville. That's who.
Woo! Hey,
Not
buddy.
bad.
That was excellent. Well, Coach, the Montgomery schools just keep on coming. They got the next one up for bat, and that's the Lee Generals.
Yeah, Robert E. Lee, over there Thursday night. So this week's preparation is going to be a little bit faster than normal. We're kind of a day ahead on our schedule. So like tomorrow is really Monday, but in the football world, it'll be a Tuesday. So and Tuesday will be a Wednesday. So it's kind of going to be a fast week. So got to be prepared to go to Montgomery and play another region game, in which we got to have. They're stacking up on top of each other. We want to be playing our best ball right now.
There is something about Crampton Bowl that seems to focus in this team to a razor's edge every time we go over there. They always seem to play some of their best ball in the bowl.
I think that's pretty much everybody we play against. They're going to play their best ball versus us. But that's good. That means it's making us better. And I don't think anything different on Thursday night. I think Robert E. Lee is going to be prepared. They're going to come out ready to play. But I think if we play our type of football and we can do it for 4 quarters, I think we can, get the win like we should. But it's going to take the details, the little small things that we got to be doing good at this time of the year to be able to get that win.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, good luck in your week of preparation, your shortened week of preparation. We'll be pulling for you on Thursday night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kickoff set for 7 o'clock at Crampton Bowl. Make sure you're there to support these Lions as they make the final push this season toward a playoff. And so, for the Millser behind the camera, for Coach Wallace right here, I'm Will Barrett saying good night, God bless, and go Lions.
The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach J.B. Wallace. Brought to you by Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep of Prattville, Trustmark Bank, CBE, and Durbin Auto Parts.